2 in a row. Kickoff coming up after this break. Next on BCSN.
Just what you're looking for.
I will say I've been really impressed with Bobo Kikonda. For one guy, he's made quite the impact and put a lot of pressure on that back three for Villa.
Yeah, he's had chances in possession, and out of possession he's been a pest. He's got directed play and limited what kind of attack Villa can mount. Defending's not always about winning the ball. It's about taking away options for your opponent and kind of dictating where their opportunities are, so your team can readjust to them.
Good play into the middle. This is Osterholt ahead for Kikonda. Kikonda into the middle, and we'll see if a corner. As you mentioned, Bobo Kikonda, the only forward really for Dutch Lions. Interesting story for that young man. Started his college career at the University of Cincinnati before that program folded. Then spent a year at Shawnee State, and from then he's kind of bounced around to a lot of different USL League 2 teams. He's had a couple tryouts with some MLS Next clubs. He was doing one with FC Cincinnati, also had one with Nashville, I believe, at one time.
And that's just such a difficult situation, playing into those MLS 2 teams, because of the fact that where you're going to fit into it, that's more of prospecting younger guys of their own. They're looking at those MLS Next programs oftentimes where they're going to age out pretty quickly. If you've got a little bit older guy, Joey obviously played here at Villa. He's still under contract with Cincinnati, but he's on loan to Hartford because they feel that's a little bit more of a stress on him, a little more he can learn in a situation in Hartford than you can playing down at MLS Next. So it's really difficult to figure out where you fit into the different programs if you really don't have like a pipeline that you're set right into. So credit those guys, like you said, bouncing around and trying to make the most of it and build out.
There was a lot of talk when that Cincinnati program folded of what would that mean for players on that team, and you probably could ask Bobo Kikonda what life would have been like had he been able to finish those 4 years down in Cincinnati.
Yeah, you lose the program that you've got to stress out about housing a little bit, where you're going to move to.
Sure.
Originally from Congo, so I don't know his own family situation. We had family over here as well, but it's just one more thing to have to worry about, trying to figure out how you're going to do stuff and move around. It's one thing if you already live in Cincinnati and you just went to Cincy and it was in your backyard, a little easier. Some of those guys, I'm sure, were from across the country and across the world, trying to figure out where to go next. We're hoping he could, just so we can make fun of him for answering his phone and tell him, don't answer your phone. He did not, though.
Ramsey played that back, but there's Kikonda pushing it wide. Good early test for Doppelhofer, just squirted past that left post.
Dan.
Pressure being applied right now by Johnke. Kikonda plays it forward on the far side. Player fell down over there.
Did his car break down in Dayton on his way home? Said, I'll just spend the summer here.
This looks like a nice place. Kikonda sandwiched between two defenders and a whistle.
No, it is actually interesting. You hear the different reasons a little bit too, and it's funny because you see him do it for the field turf as well. The ball skips a little bit more on the field turf.
Kikonda gave it a go. Good save by Doppelhofer. Kikonda was fighting off two red shirts here.
So he got free again. He doesn't need much space to hit a ball, does he? He generates a lot of power on a quick hit. Just got the ball to the outside of a defender, was able to generate a lot of power quick. It's twice. He's had good movement on the ball. That one at least was on frame. But Doppelhofer able to handle it, but it was a little bit of opposition. That probably had a hard time reading it.
Turnover, and there was definitely pressure coming towards the front of the net. Kikonda is ramping up his efforts for sure.
Yeah, you kind of wonder what kind of pressure they're going to be able to apply with just one up high, and so far he's been able to put enough on to create problems, create a turnover right there. He's got a chance in a number of times, pressuring back to the keeper. Now, can he keep that for 90? That would be shocking, but so far. He's able to defend like two up there.
It definitely felt like that was kind of that was a rip from a good 15 to 20 yards outside that 18-yard box. You might as well give it a go.
Yeah, Michelin DePolo knocked that ball down, but not cleanly. You saw it kind of go down on an angle. Took off on him a little bit and away. So he wasn't set for that shot, so might as well take that shot. A lot of movement on that ball, dipping down as well. I was thinking the whole time, how's he going to do a power dive there and not be dead obvious? And he couldn't find a way, so he didn't.
Kikonda all over the back of Jaden Ramsey-Kelly. So it's to the 25-minute mark of this first half. It was a second half goal that we saw. Good contest at midfield. And there's an offside flag, so possession back to Villa. Dayton Dutch Lions dropped an extra player.
You can see right there what's happening with Bobo Kikonda, really the only high player. So you're able to hold that ball a little bit, but they still, got a little pressure. All winners in the air, you've got to develop something a little bit more crafty for your team to kind of find opportunities to score on.
Waits playing it forward. 1-0 losers to Cleveland Force and then King's Hammer.
Who else can win it?
Well, you mentioned big players, but best at most, it can't be more than a minute or two. Well, about 30. Scoreless draw here at the break. Villa and Dutch Lions knotted at 0.
Roll into Midas.
Perhaps taken down and should have had a penalty kick late in that first half. That might be a big difference maker later on in this one.
Yeah, and the credit to Villa after that, though, they did kind of rally. They had more opportunities. They could have just been angry about it, but the first 70, and they were difference makers.
And Bobo Kikonda on the other side, really somewhat of a pest up front. We wondered what kind of impact the native of Congo would have, but he was really terrific, doing a good job of bothering those back defenders. And when it's 1-on-3, a lot of the time to be able to create the chances that Kikonda did, really an impressive start for him. We'll see again if he can maybe get one that goes past Doppelhofer and net.
Yeah, oftentimes you see one striker up and all they're there is to push traffic one way. That wasn't it for him. Yes, he did make play predictable so his defenders could slide, but he was in the mix as well, getting a number of chances on the ball too. So he's being a pest, making it difficult, push that back line to play the ball a little bit early, not get comfortable build outs, and, oh, by the way, getting a couple chances on goal.
Scoreless here at Paul Hotmer Field at the break, second half after this timeout. Nothing more than to see a similar result here this evening. Fighting for possession here along the near side with Toon Vanderdonk. Sometimes there are ones that are so egregiously off way. Long outlet here for Kikonda. Racing along the near side. And a foul called along the near side. Looked like it was pretty innocuous from Brady Horn. He's wondering the same thing, as Kikonda was already. Of course, if you're looking for a place to watch, you can head to the Blarney downtown. Kikonda, the shot.
Got a lot of people calling for offside there, but was not called.
Good play by Sebastian Doppelhofer here.
A negative receive. Yeah, he just didn't get enough of it, did he? That was kind of just a misstruck ball. Didn't get the foot down. Now